Sarah is a small business owner who sells handmade jewelry through an online store. Sarah has always been passionate about her products, but as her business grows, she sees how important it is to know how to manage the supply chain. Sarah starts to learn about what a supply chain is and how it can affect her business. She learns that a supply chain is a group of organizations, people, activities, information, and resources that work together to make a product or service and get it to customers. Sarah learns that if she manages her supply chain well, she can cut costs, improve efficiency, and make the customer experience better overall. With this new information, Sarah takes steps to improve her supply chain, from getting the materials she needs to shipping the finished products. In this video, we'll talk about what a supply chain is and why all businesses, no matter how big or small, need to understand and manage it well. Join us as we learn about supply chain management, whether you're a small business owner like Sarah or a professional in the field. A supply chain is the entire process of making and delivering a product or service, from getting the raw materials to giving the finished product or service to customers. The supply chain shows everything that goes into making a product or service, such as what happens at each stage, how information is shared, how natural resources are turned into useful materials, how people are used, and what else goes into making the final product or service. Why should a business know how its supply chain works? Making a map of the supply chain is one of the most important parts of an external analysis in the strategic planning process. Setting up the supply chain in a clear way is important because it helps a company figure out its market and where it wants to be in the future. When making corporate-level strategies, companies often have to decide if they want to focus on just one line of business or if they want to get into other industries that are related or not. Each part of a supply chain is a business in its own right. For example, it's a different business to get raw materials and another to make things. The supply chain helps a company figure out who else is involved in each step. This lets the company know how attractive or competitive an industry might be that it might want to get into in the future. Let's take a look at how two different supply chains work. Supply chain in general. In the first step of the generic supply chain, raw materials are found and bought. The raw materials are then taken by a logistics provider to a supplier, which acts as a wholesaler. The materials are taken to a manufacturer, or more likely, to more than one manufacturer, where they are refined and turned into a finished product. After the product is finished, it is sent to a distributor who sells it in large quantities. Then it is sent to a store. The store is where the item is sold to customers. When the consumer buys it, the cycle is over, but the consumer's demand drives the production of more raw materials, so the cycle keeps going. A supply chain for an online business. In this case, the e-commerce company has a website where they sell different things. When a customer orders a product, the order is taken care of by technology like a shopping cart, an order system, or a third-party product like Shopify. The payment processors then handle the payment transactions for the order, which starts a whole new supply chain. Payment processors have their own systems, but most of the time they use third parties like PayPal, Stripe, banks, and other providers. When someone orders a product, the warehouse gets the order and makes sure the product is ready to ship. A third-party logistics company or the company itself can run the warehouse. The warehouse then gives the order to the company that will ship it. Again, shipping can be done by the company itself or by a different business. After the package has been sent, it is taken to the customer's door and given to the customer.